Inspector Goole, waiting to question the Birling family about their role in Eva Smith's suicide. You may notice his manner is rather odd for a police inspector. He isn't intimidated by the Birlings' wealth or influence. He is blunt and assertive, and somehow already knows the answers to his questions. He carries strong moral views and seems far more concerned with making the Birlings consider their actions and attitudes. He is a determined, deliberate, and intimidating man, and a very mysterious one. For who or what exactly is Inspector Goole? The Birlings are soon to ask that very question. Young Eric Birling, half shy, half assertive, an immature and weak man, always ill at ease. He relies on alcohol to get him through life. His parents fail to know or understand him, which adds to his feelings of isolation. He is spoiled, and he had no qualms about forcing himself on Eva Smith, or stealing from his father to support her. But tonight, he will come to know the consequences of his actions. Guilt and shame will plague Eric Birling. Gerald Croft, attractive fellow, isn't he? Self-confident and at ease with those around him and with himself. Very much the well-bred young man about town. He's had his affair with Daisy Renton, as Eva Smith was calling herself, but he must soon settle down into married life with Shiela. He works for his father's company, Crofts Limited, a more successful business than Birling and Company. His rigid attitudes about life and society are not far removed from Arthur Birling's. Gerald Croft, you see, is a selfish, privileged man. He won't be learning much from the fate of Eva Smith. Here stands Arthur Birling, successful businessman, owner of Birling and Company, a magistrate who likes to be involved in local politics and was even once the Lord Mayor of Brumley. He is a practical man and a staunch capitalist. Wealth and social status are what matter most to Mr. Birling. He believes every man has a responsibility only to himself and to his family. He is proud of the life he has built for himself. The only things he fears are scandal and damage to his reputation and loss of profits. How his behavior might affect other people, on the other hand, is much less of a concern. Shiela Burling. Pleased with her life, and why wouldn't she be? Her family is wealthy, and she's soon to marry the even wealthier Gerald Croft. She can be shallow and childish at times, for Shiela has never had reason to consider her behavior or how it might affect other people. Yet tonight she will. Shiela will empathize with the plight of poor Eva Smith and begin to shed her childlike ways. There is hope for Shiela Burling. Here is Sybil Burling. She is her husband's social superior, and indeed, she tends to feel superior to most people. She has public influence and chairs the committee of a charity organization. But don't think Mrs. Birling has a desire to help others. She simply does this because she feels it is her duty, and it makes her feel important. She is judgmental and snobbish about the lower classes, despite being naive as to how they live. She cares very little about others, but, like her husband, she cares greatly about her family's reputation. Poor Eva Smith. Very pretty and very kind, spirited, honorable and brave, working class and country bred. She never had the wealth or opportunities of the Birlings or the Crofts. Instead, she fell victim to their greed and indifference. Fired by Arthur Birling for asking for a raise, fired from Millwards for offending Shiela Burling, seduced by both Gerald Croft and Eric Birling, by whom she fell pregnant. She was even turned away by Sybil Burling's charity committee. Tonight, out of desperation, Eva Smith committed suicide by drinking disinfectant. She may be dead, but she won't be forgotten. Not by the Birling family. Not after tonight.
Okay, ready? You first now. Quick. First. Ready? No, that was good. Let's speak.
When an inspector calls opens, the Birlings are in the middle of a conversation.
You ought to like this porter, Gerald. As a matter of fact, Finchley told me it's exactly the same port your father gets from him.
The play has our attention immediately. We want to know who these characters are and what they're speaking about. The dialogue and setting feels cordial